Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have another declutter video, and this one is all my foundations, concealers and primers, because the majority of the makeup that I do test out on YouTube does tend to be concealers and foundations. This drawer does tend to get clogged up pretty easily and pretty quickly, a lot more compared to my other drawers. So I decided I was going to go ahead and declutter in this drawer because it just looked so overpowering. There's just too many in there, and there's so many that I don't wear and I feel like they could go to better homes. So if you're new to my channel and you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and also make sure to hit the bell icon just so you're notified every time I upload a new video. So like I said, in this video everything is my foundations, concealers and primers that I'm going to be decluttering. Everything that is expired is going to be going in the bin. Everything that is brand new or has been used a couple of times is going to go to a new home. I don't really want to give away expired makeup because I know that it's a little bit gross, so those just get chucked in the bin and obviously recycled if they can be recycled as well. So if you do want to see the rest of my declutter videos, I have done quite a few, so I will link the playlist down below for you so you can check those out. And then also at the end of this video you'll see the declutter playlist as well. But I have done quite a few since my time being on YouTube. I love doing declutter videos, I love watching them as well. My favourite ones to actually watch are the foundation ones, because I tend to like to see what foundations work for people that have the same skin type as myself, and I do like to see which shades that they use as well. So I do let you know what shades, how they do go on my skin as well. If you want to see everything that I declutter and everything that I keep in this video, then just keep watching. So this is the drawer that we're going to be decluttering today. This is all my foundations, concealers and primers. I also have some sun creams in here as well. Please do not mind any of the mess on this side. It needs to be sorted out, so you know it's not meant to be there. So also in here it looks a little bit gross, so I do need to clean it out as well because everything has been in here for such a long time. I have more foundations behind here as well, so you can see that there is a massive amount already that you can't even see. So I'm just going to try and pile this so you can actually see what I have in here. But yeah, there's even more back behind here, but I've just got to the point where this is a drawer that I feel like I really need to work through, because I don't tend to use a lot of foundations and concealers at the moment. I tend to just stick with the ones that I know that I like. So I feel like that I have a really good idea on some that I need to get rid of and some that I'm going to be keeping. So the first one that I have is this Dior Backstage Face and Body Makeup. This, as you can see, September 2018. This is so old, this really needs to go. I don't know if I liked it. I can't really remember. I might repurchase it one day, but I just have other foundations that I do prefer. So that one is going to be going. And the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh tints, I do have two. So I have this shade medium and also light medium. As you can see, I use this a lot. The medium shade is the one I use most of the time. Then the light medium I do use every now and again when my self-tan's starting to come off. But as you can see, it's really gone down. But this is an amazing tint because it's one of those where it doesn't really look like there's a lot on the skin. It's very sheer. But if I just squeeze out a little bit for you, you can see that it comes out like this. It does have some little beads in there, and then when you go like this, all the beads pop and it just creates a really nice sheer tint on there. So I do really enjoy this. I like this on no makeup days, and it's just so beautiful on the skin. So if you don't like to have a lot of coverage, this would be a really good thing for you. But if you're a full coverage person, don't go for this, but I love this stuff. It's always going to stay with me. The next one is a Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation Stick in the shade Cheesecake. I liked this when I did a first impression on it, and genuinely I have used it twice. That is the amount of time that I've used it, because I don't really go for full coverage. I felt like it looks pretty cakey on my skin. It did work quite well with my oils, but I'm just not going to use this anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead, give this to someone else so they can have a new home. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This stuff is so beautiful on the skin, but as you can see, it's very old, and I don't think I actually have any of it left. I think this is an empty. Yeah, there's pretty much nothing in here. And it's at the point where it's so old, it's like nearly 2 years old, so this really needs to go. I have several of the Laura Mercier oil-free tinted moisturisers, and this is because this is such an amazing tinted moisturiser. This one is a sheer medium coverage. I did do a first impression on this, which I'll link somewhere in this video or down below for you so you can check it out. I have 3 shades. I have 2W1 Bis, 2W2 Nude, and 1W1 Porcelain. Porcelain is a shade that I am when I don't have any self-tan on, and then these two are my shades when I self-tan. But this stuff, I hadn't used it I think for about a month or two, and then the other day I reached for it and forgot how beautiful it was. This literally stays put all day, and I have very, very oily skin, very sensitive skin, and have acne as well. So it's one of those where not a lot of stuff does stay on my skin, but this lasted all day. Honestly, it's better than some of the other foundations that I have, and it just feels so lightweight. It's a Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation. This stuff I love so much. They don't do this anymore, which I'm really annoyed about, but I did buy a backup of this, and I still have loads of this product left. I think it's because I don't really go for full coverage foundations, but you know what, I'm still gonna keep it because I'm gonna use it even more. I know that it's quite old on here, but you know, I'm gonna test it out, see how it goes. I know that I do have sensitive skin, but I just love it, and I wish that they didn't stop making it because it's just that good. Then I have some CC creams from IT Cosmetics. So I have the normal one and then the oil free. So I do have the normal one in medium, the oil free one in medium, and also in fair. Fair is sort of the shade that I am when I don't have any self tan on. The only thing is this is pretty warm for my undertone, but I know that they've brought out some new fair ones, so I'm going to have to go ahead and purchase one of those. Medium is when I'm self tan, but I do like to mix the two shades when I'm in the middle of self tan, and it works out really well. The weird thing is, if you look, these two are exactly the same colour. However, this one looks very pink and this one looks very warm, so it's very strange. But I'm going to be keeping the two oil free ones, and then this one I'm probably going to give to my mum because I know that she likes this. I've only used it a few times and it's pretty new, to be honest. I haven't even had it open for that long. And I have two of these L'Oreal True Match foundations. This stuff is so good at the drugstore. I believe it's also a dupe of this Chanel foundation, and that's just because I've noticed it with the texture, the way that it looks, it does seem very, very similar. And this, I think, is like £10. It comes in like 40-50 shades, so you can get pretty much a shade that's going to match you. I have two shades, 3W and 2W. I also have two more in my backup makeup kit as well, but this one definitely needs to go 2W because look at that, October 2019, it's almost 2 years old, and these only last for a year, I think. And then this one I'm going to keep because it might still be good. Let me take off the lid. I can't take off the lid, but let me do a swatch. That doesn't look too bad. Doesn't smell off either. No, I'm going to go ahead and keep this one because I do really enjoy it, and I haven't reached for it in such a long time. Since I've been trying out a few more foundations on my channel, I've really just stopped using some of them, and some of them I've just been using constantly. Then the Chanel CC cream, I love this stuff. I did do a first impression on it as well. This one's in shade B30, and the only annoying thing is the undertone is a little bit too pink for me, a little bit too neutral when I do have a self tan, but I'm going to go ahead and get one of those foundation mixers because it is a very beautiful foundation, or CC cream rather. It stays on the skin all day, looks beautiful, feels beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to keep this and just get a foundation mixer because this was very, very expensive. And I have 3 shades of Estee Lauder Double Wear. I swear I have 4, but I can't find the other shade. This one is 1N1, going to be keeping that. How does 2W2 look? Doesn't smell too bad, to be honest. That smells pretty good. I'm going to keep that one. And then this one I don't think I've had open for that long. This one's 1W2, as you can see, because it doesn't have a pump on there, so it just means that I need to buy another pump. This one, Galan, this one I think is the most expensive foundation I've ever purchased. And when I did my first impression, I liked it. However, it wasn't one of my favourites, and at the time I didn't feel like it was definitely worth the money. Now, I'm wearing it today, and I don't know if it's because I've been wearing a different primer with it and I've done my makeup slightly different, but it's actually looking really nice and isn't irritating my skin and feels very light on the skin and looks beautiful as well. So I don't really know if it was the primer that I was using, but this is actually seeming pretty nice today, and it's also really, really good for your skin as well. And 24-hour wear, it doesn't last 24 hours if you have oily skin. Also, just look at how beautiful that bottle is as well. This was actually sculpted by an architect, so it just shows how much thought went into this. I'm also in the shade 03W. It's slightly dark on me. When I have a deep self tan, then it works out really well, or I can just mix it with another foundation if it ends up being a little bit too dark. The L'Oreal Skin Paradise, I really like this, but I haven't worn this in such a long time, but it is one of those foundations that you can only really wear if you have not a fair skin tone. So I know for a fact I will not be able to wear this when I am pale, but this is very, very pretty on the skin. It's also got skincare benefits if you do have acne as well. It's a CC cream or tinted water cream. IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better foundation and skincare. This stuff I'm going to get rid of. I have used this twice since I did my first impression. It was pretty, but I feel like my skin was breaking out quite a lot with it, and it's so annoying because I really wanted to like it. Also, I feel like this shade is maybe a shade too dark, but yeah, I've used this like once or twice. My skin didn't react very well to it, so unfortunately it's gonna have to go. The Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Foundation, Hydration and Longwear. I actually really like this stuff, but the only annoying thing is the last couple of weeks my skin has reacted slightly different to it. So I'd say it's probably over the last like 3 weeks, and it hasn't lasted as well on my skin as it did in the first impression. Now I don't know if it's because I have changed my skincare since I did the first impression, but it's not lasting as long on my skin as I would want it to. So I do like it. I feel like it is pretty. I don't know if I would repurchase it at the moment because the L'Oreal True Match to me seems like a dupe for this, and this was pretty expensive. So, you know, out of this one and the CC cream, I would go for the CC cream just because I feel like it works better on my oils and it just looks a lot nicer in the skin, but this does look very beautiful anyway. Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I'm going to be keeping this because, as you guys know, I absolutely love it. It is a cult classic, and the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. I don't even know if this is still available anymore. I don't know if they've changed the packaging or anything. I haven't used this. I bought this ages and ages ago to do a first impression and have not used it, so I don't know. I'm going to keep it for the time being, but if it works out that it's not available anymore, then I might just give it to a new home. And the last foundation is the Collection Lasting Perfection Matte Foundation. This stuff I love so much. I did a first impression on this along with a concealer, and this stuff was amazing. Looked so good on my skin. My oils were kept at bay pretty much all day, and I felt like it looked sort of like the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. However, this just seemed a little bit more heavy, and I do prefer the Estee Lauder one, but this is amazing for, I think it's like $6.49. The only thing is this shade 10 Buttermilk is way too dark for me, and I did say that in the first impression, so I'm going to go ahead and repurchase this in a lighter shade because, like I said, it is amazing and so good for oily skin. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, get rid of this one, and then purchase one in a light shade. So that's all the foundations done, and I'm going to go ahead and go into primers and concealers. Now, this originally did look nice, but I've accumulated more, and it's just pretty much gone everywhere and all over the place. Also, there's some things in here that I haven't used in such a long time, and, you know, I really need to start using them. So I do have some sun creams. I have 3 here. My 2 favourites that I always use are the La Roche-Posay one. This one is so good for oily skin. This is basically like a primer and obviously a sun cream, and it's anti-shine as well, and honestly my skin hasn't broken out with this, and I don't look oily during the day either. I've noticed a very big difference since I've been using this. This Nivea one is amazing as well if you do want a drugstore option. I think this is like £8. This one is slightly more expensive, but I do purchase it when it's reduced. But both of them really, really good. If you do have oily skin, I definitely recommend picking them up. And this one from Elizabeth Arden, this one is really good as well, but the thing is, this is pretty expensive. I did get it reduced, I think, from All Beauty, and I actually prefer the other 2 to this one just because I feel like that they're so good for oil control. Now this again is very nice and it makes my skin feel very nice and look very nice. It's just that it doesn't control my oils as much as the other 2 do. But again, I really like it, but I'm just not going to repurchase this one after I've used it. I mean, it's almost done. I've probably got about maybe a quarter left, if that. So I'm going to keep this and just finish it off. In all honesty, I don't really like Benefit primers anymore. And I feel bad saying it, but I feel like that there's so many better options out there. Now I have the Matte Rescue and then the normal Professional, and this one is a big size, so I think I'm just gonna, you know, use this up until it finishes. I do have some smaller ones which I think I'm probably going to give away, but yeah, I'll just keep this one. And then this one, Matte Rescue, it was good and it was nice. Did keep my oils at bay for a little bit longer than the Professional. However, I feel like that there's more primers that are better than this, so I'm going to keep these for the moment so I can use them up, but afterwards I wouldn't repurchase these. And the NYX Marshmallow Primer, you guys know how much I hate this product. If you do watch my channel and you saw my first impression on this, I hate this so much. This pretty much did nothing for my skin other than give me a rash, break me out. My skin was so red after I used this, and there's loads of benefits in there, and it was meant to be like calming and things like that. This is not calming on my skin. This is probably the worst thing that I've ever purchased, and this one is the small one, and this still cost me £8, so I'm so glad that I didn't purchase the bigger one. And the Galan Law Radiance Primer, this stuff I did try out in a first impression, and this is actually very, very nice. I wouldn't repurchase it. Even with money off, this still cost me £30, and that is a lot of money for a primer. Now, it is very nice, like I said, feels very soothing on the skin. However, I didn't really notice a massive difference when I was using this. So I'd probably say, you know, if you want to try it, then get it for a reduced price on All Beauty. And the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer, I forgot I had this. I actually really like this when I was using it. And, you know, I haven't had it open for a year, I don't think, but I actually genuinely really enjoyed this, so I completely forgot about it. I'm going to keep this. And the next one is probably going to be a surprise to you guys what I'm going to do with it, but this is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. I really do like this stuff, and it keeps my oils at bay for a long time. It doesn't fill my pores in as much as people say it does, but I need to get rid of this. I don't know how long you keep it open for. I actively use this, but it's actually at the point now where it's looking gross. It's got yellow in there, or orange, probably from a foundation. It's got hairs in there, and that's the thing that really annoys me, the fact that it gets so many hairs in there. And I'm one of those people where I will wash my hands before I touch my face. Before I do my primer, before I do my skincare, I will wash my hands, and I don't wipe them on towels or anything. I just let them air dry, because I don't know, I don't really want to get all the fibres in there, so I don't understand how I'm getting so many hairs in this and I have to constantly clean it out. So that's the only annoying thing about this. If it came like in a pump, I think it would probably be better, but yeah, it's looking gross, so I need to get rid of it. And I have my Avon blotting papers. These I love. I don't know if you can still get them, but this is so good. Like, you literally get this little puff and you pop these on here. You also get a mirror in there as well, but I've got some little papers in there, but it's so good, so handy to put in your bag. So also concealers, I have a lot in here, and with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer I have quite a few different shades. I also have the hydrating one and the original one, and some of them, you know, are completely used up. The reason why I have so many of the shades is because they are so hard to find your shade. I've noticed that with the hydrating one, it comes out a lot darker than the original Camo Concealer, and I don't know what that is. It just comes out so much darker. So to compare the shades, these two are both medium peach. The medium peach, and this is the shade difference. So as you can see, it's like a whole shade difference, and they're exactly the same shade, both medium peach. So I thought I'd go ahead and get the hydrating one. I didn't swatch it in the store, I actually just bought it from Amazon, which is probably what I shouldn't have done. But I bought this thinking they would be exactly the same shade, and they're not. So I then decided to get the shade lighter. So I got Light Sand. Look at the shades. Light Sand looks darker than Medium Peach. There's Light Sand, there's Medium Peach, this is Medium Sand, and this is Medium Peach. Like, how are these the same shade? This one is supposed to be the lightest shade. I don't understand. So I'm going to need to get like a fair shade in the hydrating one, because there's just a massive difference. But this one is definitely used up, this Medium Peach. I think I tried to use it today. Yeah, that is used up. That needs to go. This one, does this one need to go as well? Yeah, don't have any product left really in that one, so that's going to go as well. And then these two are good for me. These are just a hydrating one. I do like the formula of the hydrating one more than the original Camo Concealer. The only thing is, it doesn't really stay on as long, and I've noticed that my mascara does tend to run a little bit or smudge a little bit on my under eyes if I use this, as opposed to if I use the Camo Concealer. But this Camo Concealer is fine, I think, because this one, yeah, this one is my pale shade, so this one is light peach. This one is a Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in shade Light. The weird thing about this is that I feel like they've reformulated this and they've changed the shades, because I remember I used to get light and I used to get nude. I used to use nude under the eyes when I had a dark self-tan. This almost matches my foundation when I have a self-tan, and this one's the shade Light. I feel like I might need to get the brightening one, because I have expanded the range in the UK, so you can now get like 8 to 10 shades, and before you could only get like 3. So I feel like that's pretty good that I have expanded it. So I do really like this stuff. It is very, very good and medium to full coverage and easily buildable as well. I do apologise with how gross it's looking. I couldn't get the plastic off of it. Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. This stuff I tried with the foundation. Loved the foundation, hated the concealer. I don't know why everyone raved about it, but it just went into the creases on my under eyes. It didn't look nice, it just looked cakey, and it's not because the shade was a shade too dark for me, because I could probably actually buy the foundation in this shade, which is 7 Biscuit, which actually shows you how dark the foundation actually was. But I didn't like it, didn't feel like it did anything for me. And the last concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape, and I did try this out and I really didn't like it. If you guys saw that video, you will know that I put in the comments about how much I hated it. It was also in my hits and misses video as well. I just don't think this is worth the money. I like the fact that it has skincare benefits in there. However, I feel like my e.l.f. camo concealer works so much better. It's £5. This works out to be £5 for the tiny one, and this is a sample one. Now, you know, if you want to test it out, then I recommend going ahead and getting this tiny one, because, you know, you'll get a few uses out of it. I think I got about 4 uses out of it, and I've still got quite a lot left, but I can't use this at the moment because I'm tanned. And if I use a fair one, then it won't go very well on me. Now, I will keep this for the moment for when I go back pale around winter time. I'm going to keep it for the moment, but as soon as it runs out, I'm not repurchasing a bigger size. So that's all the foundations, concealers and primers that I've gone through, and I feel like I've done pretty good. So I will clean this out on a different day, just not today because I'm pretty busy. It is looking gross in here, and rest assured it will be cleaned, but I'm going to go ahead, put the rest of the products in here that I'm going to be keeping, and we'll see how much room I actually have and how much I've kept. So that's everything put in that I'm keeping, and it just looks so much better. I like having all of my tubes and all of my lighter coverage foundations and CC creams and tinted moisturizers down here, and then I've got the rest of my foundations up here. It just fits so nicely, and then also with this container as well, it just looks so much better. I have so much more room back here. The only thing is I do wish that this drawer popped out even more, but I don't know how to do it. It's an IKEA drawer, so if you guys know how to do it, then please let me know. So after all of that, I'm getting rid of 7 foundations. So these are foundations that are going to a new home or being chucked in the bin if they're old. I'm also getting rid of 3 concealers. 2 of them are used up, 1 of them I just didn't like, and then 2 primers as well I'm getting rid of. So the e.l.f. Putty Primer and the Marshmallow. This one, really bad. The matte putty primer, I actually enjoy it, but it's just looking a little bit gross. So I feel like I did do pretty well on that. I managed to get rid of 12 items in total, and I can't believe I actually had 12 items in here that I knew I wasn't going to use anymore, but they were just using up a lot of space. So this is everything that I'm getting rid of in my foundation, primer and concealer declutter. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want any other declutters or any other videos, then just let me know down below in the comment section, and make sure to give it a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye!